So let's wait a couple of more minutes here just to see if anybody else is going to be coming. I know that Ali is on vacation this week, so I don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll be in today. In the meantime, though, there is the agenda doc for the day. Feel free. Feel free to add anything you like if you've got something in particular that you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, nothing specific. Actually, haven't been here for a while, and
Yeah,
I'm I'm not sure you uh, remember. I'm not a developer per se. I'm a database consultant. So have been having fun actually a lot in the open source community. But coming back to being a contributor, especially a coding contributor, I have some thoughts. But yeah, if there's no other topic I'd like to
yeah.
discuss about.
I'd be happy to chat with you about that. Did we meet at KubeCon or did we meet at OSS? I can't remember now. Uh,
No, I've never. I'm
oh,
actually
okay.
my
Forgive me.
mother is actually
There's,
I've been taking care of my mother, so cannot travel.
fair enough. Yeah. There's I meet a lot of folks, so forgive me if I don't remember exactly. Um, so let's just wait another minute here, and then we'll kick this off. While we're waiting, can I ask where you're based, Victor?
Tampa, Florida. How about you?
Oh, fantastic. I'm in Vancouver, Canada. So almost exactly the opposite side of the continent.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been to Orlando a few times now for various different conferences. It's very hot for a Canadian.
Yeah, actually, believe it or not, Tampa, the historic high is only 99 degree Fahrenheit, so it's not that hot, but humidity is high.
Yeah, well, that was what I found. Orlando was really humid for me. So we're about four minutes past here. So let me just start with the spiel. This is hello everyone, and folks who are maybe looking at this later on YouTube. This is our monthly TAG Contributor Strategy Mentorship Working Group. This is an official meeting of the CNCF, and so is covered by the CNCF Code of Conduct. And I like to paraphrase that by saying, let's be excellent to each other. Um, so just right off the bat here, I'd like to go through a couple of things here just for the record. I know it's just you and I, Victor, but for folks, again, who might be peeking in a little bit later, oops, let's, um, uh, so we've got a couple of things in flight, particularly around the Linux LFX mentoring program. Term one is currently in the midterm phase, so we're waiting on. We've got most of our evaluations in. We've got maybe about a third left to get through. So I'll be pinging those folks tomorrow. Term two has just been opened for proposals. So there's going to be a 2 or 3 week space where projects can propose new work for the June, August term. And for term three, we're just in the planning phase. So if anyone is interested, I'm going to copy this link and drop it uh, um, in the chat so it can hopefully show up on the YouTube channel. If you're interested in helping out, I'd love a review on this particular issue that's trying to plan out our term three around various holidays and KubeCon coming up and all that sort of stuff. And then lastly, Google Summer of Code. We are in the we're not quite in the ranking phase. We've got all of the 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 candidates have already made all their proposals, and now the mentors are going through and saying, yes, I would like to mentor this. Yes, I would like to mentor this. And that'll be due, hopefully, they'll get that done by April 16th. I'll be sending out an email tomorrow to remind folk. And we're going to be, I think, by the 24th, handing that to Google and doing our ranking for the Google Summer of Code. So that's our updates and reminders. And so, yeah, Victor, if you've got something you'd like to discuss, I'm happy to chat about it. Thanks for being patient while we got through the formal stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not a developer per se, so I'm a database consultant for a long time, and sort of based on your hair, I think I'm probably similar age. I'm also kind of almost semi-retired at this point. I'm mostly having fun, and I've been having fun a lot. I learned a lot in the open source community. However, because I'm not a developer, have not really, contributed much code per se to the community. But I do have some thoughts on how, for people like me, or even for new college graduate students, or even even younger kids, how they could be more fun and useful. Two things. One is, of course, AI is here, right? So how to provide there's some like Copilot, some other like Devin tools like that you can use to develop code. But I think that mostly you still need build a kind of a good code base to train on, right? So how does when we get more new people coming to the city, um, is it possible to identify what you call a good coding best practice code base? This way, those can eventually be into kind of AI tools, and eventually, if I decided to, okay, I want to do something myself, hand dirty and try to build something, it will be easier to existing data to either use as reference directly, feed it into AI tool.
Right.
That's one part. Yeah. Any thought on that, I guess?
So in terms of that, so for bringing younger folks in, there's a crew out of New Zealand called II, and they have been helping run a kids day that is a part of the KubeCon event. It's usually the day before KubeCon, or sometimes it's like the day after KubeCon. They'll have like a bunch of Raspberry Pis and different types of computing that kids can sort of get into, like physical, sort of tangible type computing. And for teaching programming to kids, it's hard to start at cloud native, right? Because cloud native is sort of I won't call it an advanced topic, but it's a fairly advanced topic in computing, right? And so by the time folks get to us, I would assume generally that they've been studying computing for some time, right? It's hard to. I mean, we have the Phippy and Friends books that sort of have a like it's a children's style story to explain the concepts of cloud native, but I don't know that once you get down to like the nuts and bolts of like trying to be a maintainer and whatnot, generally folks who would be doing that wouldn't be kids. Now, if somebody is super interested, obviously, like I would encourage that. But generally speaking, for the mentoring programs that we're running, we're looking at folks who are third, fourth year engineering students, or who are kind of early in their career, early junior developers kind of idea. And as for AI, I think things like GitHub's Copilot have been a real boon for folks. I don't know if you've had a chance to use it, but it's interesting how it's like, oh well, you're building what looks like a function or like a template or whatever it is, right? And it'll recognize that and say, okay, here's how we can help you sort of fill out what this is. Or you can say, I want to build this, and they'll say, okay, well, here are different ways of doing that. So there are some interesting AI tools that we've been looking into using at the CNCF level. I don't know if that answers your question, but
Yeah.
I'm also sort of cognizant that like what you're talking about sounds like it might be a better fit for the tag contributor strategy meeting proper. Because again, like what you're talking about is getting folks into becoming either a contributor or working towards being a maintainer. And that's more like what we discuss here is like mentorship programs and how we run them and the administration thereof. And so what it sounds like you're talking about might be more strategy on how to bring people in earlier. So it's an interesting topic, don't get me wrong, but it might be not better received, but it might be more fruitful in the tag contributor strategy meeting proper, which I think gets, there's about 4 of them on the calendar. I think the next one is coming up this Friday, but let me see if I can grab the, let's see if I can't grab the link here for you. Yes, here we are. Hold on a second. I'll just drop them in the, I'm going to share. So copy the link. All right, so this should have the details for when and how to connect for that contributor strategy meeting. And I am right, it is going to be coming up 10 a.m. Pacific time on Thursday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know this is really for I'm not sure, but I don't think I'm a unique kind of situation. I think I know a lot from an IT person perspective, but but I know very little when it comes to developing advanced software applications. So how to how to do that and how to I think that's where I feel that at one point on one side I probably can be the mentor because I have learned a lot of knowledge about it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I need to be a mentee if I want to be to do the hands-on developing something. And that's why I feel that if there's some way to as you mentioned, Copilot could be but my understanding is Copilot, because it's trained on just too much broad information, without further training, it probably doesn't go deep into cloud native itself as much, right? So yeah, that's why I feel it could be some opportunity to do some cloud native specific either tool development or at least creating like reference data sets per se for development.
So the other thing I was going to suggest, and these folks often will do, they'll often do mentorships. If you're looking at, you're saying you're a database administrator, there are cloud native databases. One of which, the one that is coming to mind right off the top of my head is Vitess. But it's different. It's different being a DBA to developing a database, right? But this particular crew is quite welcoming and quite friendly. So if you were interested in database specific stuff in cloud native, Vitess is a good place to start. But again, it's like figuring out what you would need to do and how it's built and all the rest of it. That's going to be a trickier piece of work. I think it's built in Go, if I had to guess. Maybe Rust. I think it's Go though. Where I'm just looking at the code here. I think it is in Go and some Java. But it might be an interesting group to look at and have discussions with if you're interested in databases. But if you're, and I don't know if they've got any AI tooling. That's the other thing. If that's something else that you're interested in, I don't know. That would be a question, I think, for them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will look into that. As mentioned, at this point, after I've been in the community for 1.5 years now, so I have mostly just focusing on learning about the gaining knowledge rather than hands-on.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, eventually, I hope to be able to help develop something. This is where I'm still trying to figure out where to start.
The other one actually I'm thinking of is I don't know how they pronounce it. TIKV or TIKV is another cloud database that is housed within the CNCF. It's a key value database. So something like etcd, I think, but again, I would have to look more into it. But there's a good I don't know if anybody has shown you the CNCF landscape yet. This is always a fun sort of people look at it and it's too much, but it does help folk understand sort of what pieces of software do, like what role different pieces of software perform in the ecosystem. And so it's a handy guide if a little overwhelming at first. The other thing I should probably bring up is Clotributor, not dev. And what Clotributor is it's a listing of basically any like in GitHub repos, there's often like a help wanted or a good first issue tag. What Clotributor does is it collects all of those into sort of one spot. So you can say, hey, I'm interested in X, Y, or Z. And you can filter based on different projects or different parts of the landscape. And it's just a list of projects and issues that people are looking for help with. So it's a handy place to look if you're looking to try and help a project, or if you're looking for something to do, kind of idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The one the tweet by Grady Butch. I don't know pronounce his last name. He the author of the UML language. Says the software is invisible writing that whispers the stories of possibilities to our hardware, and we are the storytellers. That was a pretty interesting statement there. And I'm actually pretty good at learning language, but I mean the spoken language. But the computer language is different. So maybe because at this point it's being fun for me. Knowing the concept is more fun than actually doing it. That's probably why. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to have more fun. And ideal situation, I would say, I don't know it's going to happen one day, is ideal situation is I will have kind of AI tool, as you said, could be Copilot, could be something, maybe a more advanced Copilot, which is get all the best practices for cloud native already built in. And this way I know the overall concept, I just need to speak to it and then just it'll be easier to build a new project that way.
Yeah.
that's my
Another
hope.
another thing to look for in some of the more mature projects, if you're looking to do stuff, is look for like a getting started or a contributor page. It's like how do you contribute to this project? And some of the more mature projects will have sort of even things like contributor ladders. It's like, okay, here you start here and you can do this and this and this and move up. But a lot of them will have like a getting started guide. It's like, okay, here's how you start, like here's how you set up your environment, and here's how you start working on pieces of code for this particular project. So yeah. And again, I think
Yeah.
Contributor may help you with that,
Okay.
with trying to figure out some of those things.
Okay, Nate. I think that's all information
Right.
I need at this point.
Okay, well, thank you for coming by. And again, like I said, on Thursday, there is a tag contributor strategy meeting that you'd be welcome to join as well if you're interested. So thank you so much. I'm going to end this now, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you too.